Thank you, Rabbi Lowenthal. About 10 years ago, I walked into a shul right near my house in Crown Heights and saw the veteran chassid, Reb Shmuel Fogelman. His face was radiant. He was glowing. I asked him, Reb Shmuel, what's going on? He told me decades earlier, the Frierdiker Rebbe sent his father to be a Rav in Asbury Park, New Jersey. It was a dying community. There wasn't much going on. And he always wondered why his father was sent there. He told me there was a family with two boys that were in public school. And he convinced the parents, or the family, to send these children, these two boys, to yeshiva. The children resisted. They ran away. He brought them back. They ran away. And eventually they settled in yeshiva. Today, Rabbi Fogelman told me 10 years ago, that day, he was invited to the 50th wedding anniversary of one of these boys. He came into the hall. There were children, grandchildren, even great-grandchildren. There must have been over 100 descendants from those two boys. And he said, the Frierdiker Rebbe did not send my father for two Jewish children. The Frierdiker Rebbe sent my father 4 generations of Yidden. About a month ago, I repeated this story in a shul. And somebody piped up and he said, yes, I'm one of those grandchildren. This is Mivtza Chinuch. 50 years ago, when the Rebbe launched Mivtza Chinuch, the Rebbe quoted the pasuk in Shir Shirim, Moshcheni acherecha nerutza, haviani hamelech hadara. The Eibishter drew us after him and brought us into his inner chambers. And the Rebbe twisted the word chadarav. And he says, what does it mean to go into the Eibishter's inner chambers? What does it mean to be intimate with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Is when you bring a child, haviani hamelech cheder, when you bring a child into Hashem's cheder, when you bring him into Jewish education, when you bring a child into a yeshiva, that is giving him the greatest gift of all. You are giving him the ability to be intimate with Hashem. And that is Mivtza Chinuch. It's not always easy. But how does it begin? It begins with one conversation. It begins with having that conversation. I heard from Rabbi Dolphin that the Frierdiker Rebbe instructed two Chassidim, Reb Folia Khan and Reb Simcha Gardetsky, during the height of communism, to go into the shuls and to speak to the Yidden there and to tell them not to send their kids to public school and rather to send them to the underground chadarim and yeshivas. It was very difficult for them. It was Mesiras Nefesh Mamish to have these conversations. Sometimes they would even take l'chaim just to calm themselves down. But they did it. And the Frierdiker Rebbe insisted, because this is the future of Yiddishkeit. And this is the greatest gift that you can give a child, is bringing him in, and her, into a Jewish school. Bringing him into the embrace of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And it all begins with one conversation. You could be in business, you could be a Bachar Mivtzayim, you could be taking a walk in the park, and you meet a family that has not yet enrolled their children in Jewish education. Take the courage, take the strength, and have that conversation. And you will see that it'll make a difference. It all begins with just a single conversation. 6 years ago, during the height of COVID, all schools were closed. And we realized that Jewish schools, yeshivas, are going to open to in-person learning before public schools. We decided we're going to offer grants to any Chabad Moisid that takes in a child from public school. It was a great idea, but we barely had any funding. One day, I called a very dear friend of mine, Reb Shneur, all of us Shalom, and I told him, we have this idea, but there's no money. I will never forget his response. He said, you have to do this. This is the Rebbe's inyan. This cannot wait. This is what the Rebbe kocht in. And then he said, I will fund it. I will get my friends to fund it. I'll get my company to fund it. You just do it and I will support it. And he did. And today, because he took responsibility, Baruch Hashem, more than 823 children are receiving a Jewish education. And we awarded over $2 million to Meises Chabad. all because of one person taking responsibility. And that is Mifsach Chinuch. It begins with one conversation, one person taking responsibility. And 50 years from now, someone may walk into a shul or walk into a hall and see generations of Yidden, all because of that one conversation. Let us seize the moment. Let us take the time and take the initiative. And let's not wait and have that conversation today.